Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. Jordan.
Let's go.
Jacko.
Good morning.
Morning. How is everyone today?
I'm pumped.
You're pumped?
Yeah.
You lost weight,
I'm a
George.
dangerous man.
Yeah, you really tuned yourself up.
Medicine balls to the abs.
Is that what it is?
Mm.
Where?
Boxing is like it's very hard.
You were going boxing before, but you must have been
boxing,
eating a bit better.
I'm training like a fight camp now.
Fight camp?
Properly.
So good.
Yeah.
Well done. Jackson, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Just snotty from all the dust.
Snotty. Jackson's such a hypochondriac. Every time he gets anything right, he's like, I've got to go to the doctors. Like, no joke. I reckon he's had 35 doctor appointments in the last
I've had 4.
Yeah,
or 3.
No. It's literally absorbing him. So he walks up the stairs today, and we're getting the roof sanded down below just so we can paint and put the lights up, and the factory's pretty much finished. We can clean up a little bit. Jackson walks up. I was behind him. He goes, "Oh, all the dust." I'm like, "It's a bit of dust. There's not heaps." And then he starts going, "I can't breathe. Like I've got hay fever." He hasn't even been near it. He just like starts convincing himself he's got hay fever.
I get bad hay fever.
So first thing he says now, all the dust. Now he'll like program his mind that he's got hay fever. Did you make your doctor appointment?
Yeah, already. I've got him on speed dial.
Hey, boys, we got a couple of quick questions and then we'll get into a topic. So does anyone have them? I haven't got my glasses on, but there was... Quickly go
the
to...
ones you sent yesterday.
Well, there's a couple. So one was, I've recently gone through a pretty rough breakup. This is from Tim. Struggling to really let go of the past and focus on what I need to... Do you want to read it, John? I can't read it.
Yeah, I've recently gone through a pretty rough breakup and I'm struggling to really let go of the past and focus on what I need to, which for me is work. I started real estate 6 months ago. I find I cling on to the pain and blindly hope that something will work out for us when it definitely won't. Would love if you and Jordan could do an episode on learning to let go of negative stuff weighing us down, to stop dwelling and really start focusing on what matters. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You've helped me a lot in such a short time, Tim.
All right. So this is a good one. I know this one personally very much. So 2 ways to look at it. It's, well, do you have anything to say first?
No, I mean, I'm more interested to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah. Was he married or is he just, was it just a partner?
He didn't say married,
Break
just
up.
a partner.
All right. Well, 2 ways to look at it. You might really want to be with that girl. I assume it's a girl, but you might really want to be with that girl. You got to work that out. So, if you do, then you sort of just got to become the man that is going to attract her back. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he cheated on her. She cheated on him.
He's saying there's no chance of them coming back, going back.
Something's happened. So, but that doesn't matter. Like, it sort of doesn't matter in a way because, look, I'm a bit of a believer in destiny, sort of fate, destiny. If something's going to come your way, the angels, life, and you don't know when. It could be 5 years' time. It could be a year's time. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
So then sort of, there's a bit of an age gap between me and Tara. 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's almost your age. Actually, it's almost Jackson's age. Yeah. How's it? Your stepmom was like 2 years older than you.
A bit more than that.
Yeah.
No,
well,
she's
you're
good.
23, she's 28. It's 5 years.
She acts like a 45-year-old lady anyway, so doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah. So when I was actually... Yeah.
No, nothing.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say,
Take a photo.
don't worry. Keep
Take
going
a photo of what?
for the story.
Oh, Jordan wants a photo.
Okay.
Put on his
Yeah.
It's
story.
a weird time to ask.
Yeah, I know. Jordan's all about the photo
I just thought about it.
Yeah, Jordan's
Yeah.
totally not listening, and like all he wants is just Jackson, because Jackson's a phenomenal photographer. So Jackson can pick up a camera and make any photo look amazing. So Jordan's like, it's gone into his head because you've just thought to yourself, you better post.
No, because I looked at you right then and I was like, that's a good shot. That's what I thought.
And Jordan's gone off track, going to Jackson, quick, get a photo of us. It's really of you. Anyway, so Tara, she served us when I was married. What are you laughing at?
It's just so random.
It is. Well, it's along these lines. Okay, so So I used to go to this restaurant in Edelong with my ex-wife, and she used to serve, and I had just serve in a restaurant, and I was like, I remember like seeing her like originally, I was like, oh, she's a pretty little girl, like blah blah blah, and she's like, she's pretty small as well, and then life goes on, blah blah blah, and then I didn't know her, she didn't know me, and we used to go there every Friday, just go, and then she used to serve us sometimes, but was just serving us, didn't really like have any sort of connection, no thought around nothing. And then years later, she used to get these promptings, she was telling me, she had to work at McGrath. She just had to work there. So she had other job opportunities, but she just wanted to work at McGrath. She didn't know why. Anyway, so this is like, I don't know how many years later. Might have been 7 years later or 6 years later or something. And then she ended up working there. And then one day she walks past, goes, hi. I'm like, hi. Couldn't remember who she was, blah, blah, didn't know. And then later on again, we ended up sort of hooking up. And then when we were together, she goes, I used to serve you.
Did she remember that before, or did that come back to her?
Come back to her.
Yeah, right. Okay.
She goes, I used to serve you. It was a very messy time, by the way. So I'm just like talking about the service part of it. But we ended up together. And all these years later, and then it was a very tricky time, like all over the place, whatever. But the way life worked, the timing of everything, I wasn't happy before, and a bit stuck, and then, but why I'm saying this is all of the things that happened along the way. So now we're married, and now we're building a life, and Jaxson lives with us, and la la la. But all the things that happened along the way, you could not have orchestrated that if you tried. Like you couldn't. Like life just went on. But I think you choose your path. But there's also, I think, if you're moving along in a direction, I think there's things that are put in your way that, are meant to go your way. That's what I believe.
So you think for this guy that's saying he's on his own now, but he sounds like he's going, oh, I wish I could go back there.
Well, don't put anything to bed. And why I'm saying this, look, I broke up with Tara as well. So we were together like messily for a couple of years. And we broke up for a year. Like she was like, she went to Melbourne.
I remember that.
Yeah, she went to Melbourne and then came back, and I was doing my thing. And I was actually out with another girl. Yeah, I was out with another girl somewhere, like in the Northern Beaches, and then in an ice cream shop. And then Tara, like this is a year I hadn't seen her, like at all. Tara saw my story, I think, and she was out with the girls, and she had another boyfriend, and she texted me and said, "Do you want to talk?" And I just felt I had to go. I was like, I just got to go and talk to her. So I said to the girl I was with, I've got to go and see Tara. And then, because I knew in that moment.
I remember that day. It was yesterday.
Yeah, remember. But I knew in that moment, if I didn't, I think it would have changed forever.
You would have missed it.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm sure like life would have went on and other things would have happened. But
so you think go with the flow?
Well,
a bit.
Well, sort of. And I was a bit like, sometimes things are going to come your way and you're going to make a decision in that moment what you want to do. So whatever's happened there, I don't think more things could have happened because you know how he goes, it's not, you broke up and it's dead in the water or whatever. And this guy's Tim saying, nah, it's not fixable. Yeah, mate, I don't know if more things could have happened with me and Tara on the way to where we were going to go. I honestly don't think that it was non-recoverable about 35 times. So, but I think you got to start to become that person.
So how does that mindset sound? Like, all right, that's that. I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Try not to focus back into it. I'm just going to be the best version of myself. Yeah. I'm going to train. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to work. And then if for any reason the paths cross again in the future and it feels right again, I might jump back in. I might not. But I'm just going to focus on moving my life forward.
Yeah, you got to become that person. So I think he parked that because you got to change that energy that's going on with him,
Yeah.
because like you're in this whirlwind of messy, weird, yucky energy, and he is, because he keeps focusing on it and keeping it alive and going around. It's very hard to do, but he's looking at what he doesn't have. And when you start to, there's a thing that Esther Hicks talks about. It says, make a decision and line up with it. That's what I did. So when Tara texted me and said, do you want to talk? I made a decision and I lined up with it.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're happiest we've ever been, and life's great, and things are powering. You know, we talk about it all the time, you and me, George, because it was like a mess of a mess of a mess along the way. Myself, you know, because I was always like, it was very emotionally unsteadying, the whole thing, because, you know, wanted to be with Tara, this was happening, I was all over the place and all this sort of stuff. She was fine, she was doing her thing. But once you make a decision and line up with it, and that, in his instance, I would say, what is the best version of him?
Yeah.
Like you just said. Like, what is that? And then I'd probably start focusing on that. And that person he's with, they may come back one time, but they also may not. And at some point, and that's why time's a bit irrelevant, because how would I know Tara was going to text, or I needed to see Tara again, or even I was going to meet her, like all of that stuff. Like, she went.
I think about that song, you know, Paul Kelly, To Her Door.
Yeah.
How they're obviously not, like, he leaves, she kicks him out, he goes, finds himself, gets a job, becomes a better person, then comes back around later.
Yeah.
That song. That's what it reminds me of a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
It's a cracker.
Yeah.
It's an absolute track.
Yeah, exactly. And
but it is. It's the best version of yourself. But also, I think, like, when...
But it's hard, though. Sorry to jump in, but it's hard. We'll go back over this for 1 sec.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it, though?
No, it is.
To become the best version of yourself?
Yeah, it is. Because, can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
Or actually, I'll save it. So I'll save it for a moment, because it was actually what happened yesterday when I had to cancel the appointment on you.
Yeah.
But why I say it's hard, because he's in a very raw spot right now. So he keeps saying, I'm playing this over in my head. It's got momentum. Momentum is such a difficult thing.
How do you fix that?
Well, slowly.
Yeah.
Because you can't. It's like a raging river. It doesn't just stop in 1 second. It like takes time. And he's got to slowly like be okay with thinking about her. He's got to slowly be okay with, like, don't try and go, oh, I can't think about it, because the more you try not to think about it, the more it is. But he's got to sort of, you know how they say you replace an addiction? It's turning into an addiction. An obsession and addiction, the same thing. And they say you got to replace an addiction, not just stop it, because
that's why he needs to become, like, put it into fitness and
something
work.
Else. Yeah, you know, and then you got to make a decision. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Whether does he really want her? Maybe. Or he's like, does he really want what he stuffed up?
Yeah.
I don't know that part. So if he really wants her, you can't be running around with 30 other girls and doing all this sort of stuff, because the energy's not going to be attractive for her. But if he's like, I'm just going to go on my path and I'm going to like clean myself up and I'm going to become fantastic at what I do, it doesn't mean you can't see the odd person, but you don't want the energy of, and you don't do it for her, you do it for you, but your vibration is going to go so high that whether it's her or somebody else that's the same or better, they're going to be attracted into your world.
Yeah, he needs to become the person and create the life that she wants to live in, or somebody else. That's around, like, at the same level that he's interested in. Yeah,
I put a post up yesterday about frequency, and it's about exactly this thing. And that's sort of where my whole head is at now. My entire life goal is to operate at the highest frequency possible consistently. Everything else will take care of itself. And it's true. Like, you don't need to think about it, because when you're vibrating at that frequency, that person's going to, like, and it could be anywhere, in an ice cream shop, in a service station. You might, I don't know, drop some money, they might pick it up, say, hey, blah, blah. That's what I mean about the universe. It's like constantly putting things in your way that match your frequency on the best possible journey for yourself.
Did I tell you the story about, she's actually a tattooist of mine, friend, how she met her husband? Both from different countries, both went to the skilling at the same time. She was walking up, she was walking up, he was walking down, dropped a phone. he went, picked it up, turned around and said, "Oh, you've dropped your phone?" She said, "Oh, thank you very much. Well, you've got it. Can you take a photo of me?" Took a photo, and then he's like, "Oh, they're great, whatever." Shared numbers.
Was it a
married,
nude?
Probably, yeah. On the skillion, like, married.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
That
and I love when it's like, could have brushed your teeth for 10 seconds longer.
Yeah.
Could have went to pull in the parking spot and like there was a motorbike there.
Yeah.
Had to go 2 up.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
unbelievable.
100%.
Unbelievable.
So that's on that note. There's a few things I want to talk about end of year, and I want to talk about for the alignment.
There was another
things.
question here about energy as well.
Yeah, we'll quickly do that. But you know the most amazing thing, Jord, that people undervalue? It's the timing.
Yeah.
Like we don't think about it because we're just doing stuff. But timing, like you just said, what's the chances of them waking up both at the same time and doing this and meeting at that, dropping your phone? But see how a bad thing it's not a bad thing. It's like dropping your phone. People will usually be like, oh, far out. So imagine you dropped your phone and you started swearing and and frantically running over to get it. This is where emotional control is so important. So it's dropped the phone. She's grabbed it. But imagine he reacted differently.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, so the thing might not have happened. So emotional control is so important because it keeps the alignment going.
Yeah.
Even when things happen. You know, there's many things in a day that don't always work out, but you've got to see it as, is that the next part for who you need to... can I tell you a quick story? So many stories today.
Yeah.
Quick story.
Yeah.
I went and stayed at the Park Hyatt, Sydney Park. What's it called?
Sydney Park Hyatt.
Hyatt.
At the Rocks on the
Hyatt,
harbour.
yeah.
2 nights ago. I've been looking for a DJ. Yeah.
Yep.
I've been looking for a DJ for to create 31-minute soundtracks. Yeah. For the gym, because I hate I can't. I get Jaxson to play a song every now. Well, I don't get it. When he plays a song, I go, "Oh, that's a good song." I have no idea with music, right? I just hear it, but I play the things to death, and now I'm sick of them all. And I've been looking for a DJ to put a few together.
Yeah.
And then I contacted a friend of mine who contacted me the other day, who owns all the clubs in the Cross, and he put me in touch with a DJ, but it wasn't quite aligning. Like, I'd contact him, he was all right, and then wouldn't get around to it, and it just didn't flow.
Mm.
So I went and stayed at the Hyatt 2 nights ago, and then a guy messaged me yesterday
Yeah.
and said, "I saw you at the Hyatt." He works there. He goes, "I wanted to come and say hello, but I didn't because you were there. It was your anniversary, blah, blah." I was like, "Oh, you should have come say hello." And then I emailed the other DJ as I was talking to him. Same, like he was on Instagram and the other one was on thing. I was in David Jones and Tara was buying something and I was just sitting in the chair like every man does, just waiting.
Yeah.
And the DJ said, "Oh, what about catching up next week, blah, blah, blah." And then this guy, I don't know how it came on my messages, but he said, I'm a DJ. Like this guy was working as I don't know what, like a one
concierge,
of the guys,
yeah.
concierge. And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Oh, no." He said, "I'd love to be on your podcast or something like that. Catch up sometime. I won DJing awards." And I'm like, "What the hell? What do you mean?" He's like, I wrote back and I said, "Are you a real DJ or just one that just like play songs?" He goes, No, I'm a real DJ. I said, "Wow, really?" I said, "Can I meet you?" And blah, blah, blah. So isn't it funny how things happen? Like this guy just messaged that I happen to be there, but he's got heaps more flow to it than the other one.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get it. And I've been looking for DJ for months. Yeah, so it's
Interesting.
Funny.
Mm.
Was there one more question?
Yes. The question was, I didn't actually understand it. Why is it called frequencies?
Oh, sorry. On that note, imagine Nick, the guy, didn't reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'd still be looking for a DJ.
Why is it called frequencies? Does it change the physical frequency of synapses in the brain on a positive thought?
Well,
It's like out of control.
yeah, if you think about, well, I don't know really, but if you think about frequencies, I'd say, if you look at a frequency wave like that, I'd say they'd have different like shortnesses and longnesses, like a swell period.
Do you think? So so we can see in ultraviolet light and another type
Yeah.
visually, and our sound waves that we hear on are specific.
Yeah.
There's names for them. Might be 5 or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not a scientist, but apparently there's thousands.
Like hertzes or whatever they are.
Yeah. Do you think that if we could operate, if our eyes could see in different ultraviolet lights and we could hear different frequencies, because there's animals that see and hear different things, right?
They can hear 200 times more than us.
I wonder what else is out there
Yeah,
that
we've got other
we don't
dimensions
have
around us.
access to.
Yeah, we have other dimensions
Yeah.
around us. Mate, I've been off my head on drugs, and I'm not joking. I'm in bed like sideways as all hell years ago, literally in another thing, bordering on ODing, but I wasn't ODing, bordering, and I reckon I could hear people talking. I don't know whether, but I can still remember. I'm like, there are people talking around me. So I reckon it opens up other things.
But they say that about mushrooms.
Yeah,
Like they say that.
psychedelics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon all those things are around. They don't just come from nowhere.
Because there's a lot of stories of people doing, not mushrooms, it's a type of psychedelic, and they actually have like full intermind experiences and change their life completely. Like it actually, I don't know if it changes the chemical balance in their brain, but it actually changes almost like their vision and their path. And they go, I know what I'm supposed to do with my life now.
Yeah.
That's scary.
You know, yeah, it's weird talking about this in front of Jackson. I've got a couple of things to talk about, but sorry, Jackson. When I OD'd one time, I OD'd 5 times. And when I OD'd one time,
How do you do that? Like I know it's take too much,
injected way too much cocaine.
but why? Like why didn't you go like
Mate, when you've been doing it for like 2 days and you're just all over the place, and
Jackson's like,
and you're all over the place, and you just got no idea what you're doing, and just way too much.
they don't mean to.
No, I don't mean to. I didn't mean to.
Well, I know
But-
you don't.
but what
mean
happened
to,
was-
but like,
When I
is it like? Are you like, well, I could probably do a bit more and like be okay, or are you
Yeah.
like, holy crap, I did too much?
bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but one of the times it went, I had way too much, and it was like I'd been up for a couple of days, and then it'd be like, I stood up and I could hear, like it was and I was like, whoa, I mean,
I don't know how you used to enjoy that.
It's actually very good, but it was like, but what I
actually,
think
very
energy, I think that's how it sounds.
Yeah.
I think the energy around us, we can't hear it, but I think it's like imagine the sound of the energy running, controlling all of our beings. Like, I think it would be like so loud, but we just happen to be it's just created perfectly, so we can't hear the thing. That's what I think. It's got nothing really to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So end of year.
Yep.
End of year. This is actually Jackson's topic. Why did you ask about this one, Jack?
Oh, because you're always like on about like Fire Feb, or you have these 31-day things.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like when it comes to the end of the year, like because last year I was doing really well, and then when it came to silly season, I just lost it all. I partied for 2 months straight, went away and like went on a massive bender. And then it kicked me so into gear though that I come back and was sober for like 5 or 6 months. So I was like, I wonder if I didn't go so off track last year and kept it going into the new year and into this year, where I've been now compared to where I am.
Yep.
Like, I'm not in a bad spot or anything, but I was just like, I wonder how much further along I'd be if I didn't lose it all at the end of last year.
Sure. Well, I think end of year. Thanks, Jackson. I think end of year is a good topic. So, what's your thoughts on that, George? As a young man, career driven.
Mine's probably not the same as yours.
No.
Or might not like my answer. But if I'm honest, I like when you're working hard, really hard. And when you're playing, you're playing. Like not like going on a coke bender for 5 days, but like at least having a mental reset for a couple of weeks. I like doing that over Christmas. It's sunny, my family's around. So I like to pick a date. Like my date this year is like the 16th of December, around there. And because what people do is, and we've had conversations with our team about this, is they just plot along from late November till mid-January. I don't like that. Doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather pick a date and go, okay, from now to then, we are going to work like no one's ever worked before. Like big hours. We're going to put money in the bank. We're going to put results on the board. We're going to set up auctions for January, and we're going to work as hard as we physically can to that point. And then we're going to take 2 weeks off, or we're going to be around, but we're not. We're going to try and reset, and then we're going to come back strong to the new year. That's
so you're
my take on
mentally
it.
like creating some parameters around on off.
Yes,
So you like
I'm not cruising
foot
now.
down,
Yeah.
accelerator down to the 16th. Or was that the 23rd?
Well, the 16th, 16th is a Friday, so it'll be 17th. It's,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
I'm only kidding.
18th.
So yeah, so from that around that weekend, and then are you gonna stop, or are you gonna slow down, or what's your
I'm still doing deals.
yeah?
I'm just not working
You're gonna be in
500 hours a week.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing your thing. Yep, and then you're back once you had a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
And Jackson, you were more meaning like partying.
Yeah, more like as in like partying and like just because you spend all your money, you go on holidays, like it's like you work the whole year and then like you come and have this, like I partied so hard last New Year's, I literally caught a plane home a day early from Byron Bay because I couldn't spend one, I was like crying in my tent and stuff. It was so bad. And then come home and I didn't drink for 4 or 5 months. Like I stopped everything, like fully got on track and well. And then as soon as I was like great and back up again, I was like, oh, let's just go have another beer. And then it's like crept all back in.
Yep.
So I was like, I wonder if I didn't, but then again, I might not have gone sober if I didn't have that big blowout. So it's kind of like a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering what it would have been like if I didn't have that massive blowout, like where I'd be.
Just before you answer, got one more thing to say about that too. A very good friend of mine called me yesterday and he said, can we do lunch in December? And I said, yeah, we can do lunch. But at the end, and he said to me, he said, oh, we'll go for a night out in Sydney. And I said, I thought you don't drink. And he said, every December I play hard. I go on holidays, I go on lunches. Like he's not bendering, but I drink and all this sort of stuff. And then I'm sober from January for 11 months straight. But December, I actually enjoy life a bit. I catch up with friends. I do stuff, rah, rah, rah. He said, I can't drink because then I just end up down paths like or whatever. I spend money, I gamble, this, that, and the other. So I can't do that. But I like doing it in December because everybody's sort of around. We have a bit of fun. And then I'm sober for 11 months. And I went, that's interesting. I couldn't do that. Like I would feel a bit lost without lunches and catching up with my mates. But it works perfectly for him. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think there's a few different things going. I think you got to design what works for you. And so I'm probably turning the volume right up where I'm on this body path thing that I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna talk to you about Cialis in a sec as well. So, but yeah, I think I like yours. Like you're creating parameters. Jackson's saying, how do I not have a train wreck? I think you got to have a bit of a long-term view with either of it because look, I've been there. I understand. Like I'm trying to relate. You guys are younger than me. So it's like, I think there is a bit of you're younger. You can, let loose. But what Jackson's saying as well is you're a bit more controlled now. You never used to be. And Jackson's hasn't got the control. Can you see the difference in position?
Yeah.
Like Jackson's like, well, I know what I'm like. I'll literally just wreck my whole month.
Yeah.
And is it worth it? That's really what he's saying. Like, is it worth it? And now in reflection, how old are you now, Jack? 23.
23.
So now in reflection, he's like going, because he knows the feeling of I'm on a good path.
Yeah.
And you think back to then, I remember it. Jackson was a mess. Like I think he took way too many drugs. He was in a tent. It all sounds good when you're going, like, who wants to be in a tent in Byron Bay? Did it rain?
It was raining like the
Raining
whole time.
that's
There's
right.
ravers everywhere.
Yeah. And Jackson's like, this is no good. But the pain of that experience could be the best thing that's ever happened to him.
Yeah.
And now this Christmas, what are your thoughts, Jack, around how are you? And I'm rather than just tell you guys, I'm really keen to hear where you're at. But what's your thoughts around how you want to spend it as a young man, in reflection?
I was going to go to Bali and stuff, and that was going to be like $5,000 or $6,000. But now I'm going to Port Macquarie with Sarah. Like we're going to Queensland. I'm
Port
like,
Macquarie.
yeah, I know exactly.
What, to go hang out at the library?
Her brother her brother's there. Oh no, just like a little getaway. Her brother lives there. Whatever. He's just telling me.
I think they got bingo on Thursday night.
Yeah,
You
well,
can go there.
at least it's responsible. There's probably no drugs in Port Macquarie.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure you'll find them.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it a little bit quiet. I just want to hang out with Sarah and the dog, and not go crazy.
Okay. That's good. All
Thanks.
right, fair enough. I think you got to design it and how you see. You know what goes through my mind now? Do you want to start the new year with momentum? You know, because I don't care what you say. You can let loose in December and you can change it, but there's a period of time where you might just want to hang around. But you know what changes the whole thing? So you know how sometimes we talk about alcohol. You know what I mean? Sometimes people, yeah. So I think it's going to go touch on that. Sometimes people text me and say, "Oh, you know, like on TikTok, Jack, just because you can't drink doesn't mean no one else can. Oh, I can drink. It's fine if I want to. Everyone can do whatever they want to do." But I'm sorry about this story, Jackson.
People love the stories.
Yeah, but I'm sorry about this.
I don't care. It's
not
great.
when your kid's sitting
Great
there.
content.
All right. So on Thursday night, what night was it? Did we go down? What day is it today? Thursday.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
it would have
So
been
on
Wednesday.
Tuesday night,
Tuesday night.
we went down to stay at the Hyatt. I thought to myself, you know, I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'll take some Cialis.
Whose horse is that?
Sorry about this, Jack. Turn your earphones off. All right. So bit of this, you know, things going on and whatever. I said, I'll take some Cialis. Now, Cialis doesn't really agree with me, but I thought, you know, it'll make people don't know what it is, like Viagra, but I don't need to. But I was like, it can make you a little bit even more like, you know, heated. Let's call it heated. All right, Jackson. So, yeah.
You chose to tell the story.
Well, I got it because it's actually exactly what we're talking about. So, you know, around my whole thing now is managing frequency. And I know we talk about it a lot, but it's actually the secret to everything. Like, what's the point of talking about food, great food, if you're feeling rubbish because you're depressed or you're upset or angry, and it's going to have a not as good effect. You need to manage your emotions and your frequency point first, and then do life. And you just watch what happens. Don't listen to us about it. Just try it. And when you hold a frequency for a period of time, you change the elements in your world. Like, you can manage the elements all around you, and they align differently. You know, so why wouldn't you want to do that? So that's where I'm at. I want to be a frequency expert in life for my own life, and that things just roll on from there. Anyway, so I'll take some Cialis. Yeah, awesome. Blah, 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 you know, all of that. And then we go out to dinner after that whole episode. My eyes were all puffy. I had like congestion in my nose. I couldn't breathe, like, because it pushes your blood pressure up everywhere.
I had to tuck my penis into my sock.
But it's like, I sat at dinner feeling terrible. Like, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, it was so bad. And then I had like, that was like a quickish dinner. And then we went a restaurant called Six Head. It's really good. Go there if anyone ever wants to go there. Six Head next to the Hyatt. Went straight to bed, like literally straight to bed. And I thought, I'll sleep this thing off. Woke up the next day, banging headache, feeling terrible all day. That's why I had to cancel our appointment yesterday afternoon. I thought during the day it might sort of get a bit better. And then all I wanted to do is eat rubbish. And I saw Michael during the day, you know, the massage guy. I said, Michael, I can't believe this. I took like one Cialis, push your blood pressure up, does this, does that, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, but because it does all of that. But on top of that, it changes all your hormones. When your blood pressure goes up and all of this, all your hormones change as well. So now you've got to manage your hormones. They've all got to settle again. He said, that's why you'd be craving, because I was craving junk food like nothing else. I got home, had a huge bowl of cereal, just couldn't stop eating. And then I went to bed at 5:30 yesterday afternoon, and then slept all the way through to today. I feel fine today. But why I'm saying that to you is what a waste of 2 days.
Yeah.
And that was Cialis, like, let alone drinking. And Tara had 2 drinks at dinner, and 2 drinks. And then she was the same. The next day she was feeling tired, driving, not a great, 2 drinks only. So that's what I'm saying to you. Like, every moment of every day we're managing our choices. Will I take Cialis again? Never. I'll never take it again. That's 48 hours of non-alignment. That's how I see it now.
Yeah.
So 48 hours, could I take it all through December and do it? It doesn't really do anything. It just makes you head red. It's like, it's so, like, for what? For a small experience? Do I really need that? And that's the same as drinking, in my view, or partying. Do you really need it? You think you do. But how many times have you gone like Jackson's thing? You build up, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. It's going to be so fun. You've had your fourth drink, and then it's just downhill from there. Or your fourth drink turns to a few lines of cocaine or some pills or whatever with your mates because everyone's in the moment. And then the next day, how do you feel?
Yeah, like you want to die.
Yeah. And so I see it as I don't see December as I'm going to jump out of my pursuit and relax and go crazy because I can. You can do it anytime. But I don't see it as a get out of frequency jail card.
Yeah.
And go, woo, yeah, woo. You can do that if you want. But to me, I'm like, I'm not wasting 1 minute of one day, because once you actually unlock the feeling of phenomenal consistently, you just want to stay there.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how bad I felt yesterday. Like, literally, for me to let you down yesterday, it's pretty big. I'd never let you down.
Yeah, I said that to our friend, a client.
Never.
Said, that never happens.
I'd be there come hell or high water. I literally couldn't keep my eyes open, feeling terrible. And then the anniversary dinner, sitting there with all congestion, couldn't breathe. My eyes were all puffy. Like, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
What? For 3.5 minutes of supposed fun?
3.5 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe not even that long.
2 minutes of foreplay, 1.5 minutes.
You know what? For a bit of a messy, fun time for 2 seconds, but the flow on, and that's what I think of all the time. It's sort of what Jackson's asking. What's this choice lead to with the flow on? I want to get to January and be 30 days higher again in vibration. Wow. But what's that? That's a pursuit and a half for me, because next year is going to be, the results will be directly reliant to my frequency.
Can I ask you?
That's how I see it.
When I said I'm working till the 16th, I didn't mean I'm going to bend it until the 1st. I mean, I'm not going to wear a suit every day.
I'm not going to go on holiday. I'm going on holidays.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I mean, like recharge. Like, I'm not going to go surfing.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, mate, I'm all for that. We're going to Qualia on the 28th of... mate, I never do holidays. I'm going to Qualia. I like going on holidays with Tara.
For us, it's the only time of the year where you can do anything.
Yeah. It's mentally... Yeah. But what you do within that, George.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Qualia. I'm training. I'm hanging out.
Correct.
I'm relaxing.
We're on
planning.
the same page.
Yeah, I'm like, what's possible? That's where I want to go. What is possible? I know what's possible when you're full of alcohol, or you got Cialis busting out of your ears, and you got, or worse yet, if you're doing lines of coke because you think, yeah, that's cool, and let's go do all this, you will never learn what's possible.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what anyone says to me. You have 2 drinks. Please drink, everyone. Do what you want to do. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. For me, even 2 drinks, my alignment isn't the same the next day. So I make a choice. Do I want better and better alignment, or do I want a feeling of people call it relax, like let's unwind for 2 hours and have some drinks. But you've got to, there's a cost to that. And I don't want the next day to be anything out of alignment.
Yeah.
Because your friend's phone, where he met his wife, if he had 2 drinks, he might have slept 5 minutes longer. I don't know. That's the way I see it. It's that phone call that comes in. It's the rendezvous that you meet with somebody else. It's the something that happens you can't get better and better and better and better unless you're making those choices. So that's why I'm saying to you, like, even a Cialis, most people would think, oh, that's pretty good. Like, I'll have one of those. Never again for me. Never again. There's 48 hours out of alignment. Is that going to lead somewhere? Yeah, possibly. Something might have come out of all that. Always does. But what Jackson's saying, I think to myself now, would it have been even better without it? Would dinner have been better? Would someone else have?
100%.
Would something else have come? Would I felt better? Just even the feeling. I'm not even chasing things coming to me. I'm just the feeling of it all. That's where that's what I want to explore, because there's something, once you get to a feeling that you've never been before, like it's so good, it's actually like, it's like you can taste it, can't you? Like you never want to get off of it. When you're like, things are so good. Like we sent a truck video to each other the other day, and it's like this girl driving a truck. I said, this is what we want to do at our competition, like mow them down in this huge big truck, like just joking. But that's how we feel though.
Yeah.
Like you feel invincible. And that's what I want to hold on to, because there's nothing worse than feeling behind the energy. There's no worse feeling in the world. And that's what Jaxson is saying. In that month, I watched him recover, but he was behind the energy, and it's actually why people get depressed. I think depression is that. I think depression is a flow on of thoughts and a flow on or actions or whatever, and you put yourself behind the energy of the world, of waking up every day. Because when you're clicked into it and going with it, it's exhilarating. It's like, woo, let's go, but when you're not, it's because you're behind it, and you just literally feel like it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but you're clicked out of it and you don't know how to get in it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
That's what I feel. And I've been depressed. I've been down. And I've felt all of it. So it took me a long time to learn too, like as in I kept relapsing when I was younger, kept going in and out. And I'd literally take drugs and I'd be like sitting there trying to do mind maps on how to get better and trying to like talk to all these people. And I think, what's wrong with me? But the reality was I liked the feeling of doing it. That's what it was. But the pain of not doing it, of the pain of after it, it wasn't strong enough for me.
Yeah.
I kept going, I can't wait for that first line or that first injection or that first drink, because I know the first beer is going to be my invitation to let's go get some Coke and let's go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I'd be hyped about it. I'd literally do anything to go get it, because it was my pass to just go crazy for the next few days because I wanted to. But now I'm like, nowhere near that thing, because the after effect is not even worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Like I think that's how people, like my sister killed herself. I think that's how people get so down and so lost that they just have no other option but to either be so depressed or jump off a cliff or something, Keep going.
I don't know what to say. Follow up on that now.
Well, it's true. Like I feel I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from, I've been, like my mate went home at 21 and blew his head off from partying. He went home and just was so down and whatever. He blew his head. I think to myself all the time about him. And I'm like, I had a number of friends do different things like that. But I think, imagine he didn't take drugs. Imagine my sister didn't take drugs. Now, I know it's pretty like yuck thing, but it's a reality.
Yeah.
And I was like, imagine she was like, she chose frequency over drugs. Imagine my other mate did. But why? Because it's like, no, I want to go out and have fun and do all this sort of stuff, but over and over and over again. And you get so clicked out of life that it becomes so painful, you don't know what to do. But the remedy is, not just for that, but I've observed it and I've been there, and people say, how'd you pull yourself out of the gutter? I chose to. One choice at a time. But it took me a long time. How many times did I relapse? Like for the time that you've known me, but also before that, mate, it was a train wreck and a half. Like, I'm surprised I didn't kill myself.
Yeah.
Thought about it many times. But it's like you get to a point in life where you're like, who do I want to be, and what do I need to do to get there? But the problem is it's such a long road. That's why I won't compromise one day, because I can go December and go, yes, do this, do that. But I'm like, I don't want to, because I want to get to January and be higher again. Because it's so painful pulling yourself out of what Jaxson is saying. It's so painful pulling yourself out of that depths of like, why did I even do that? But the reason you did it is because you wanted the 5 minutes of fun.
Yeah.
But frequency, when you take cocaine, for instance, if you go Dr. David Hawkins thing, when you take a line of cocaine, it vibrates at 600 on the 1,000 scales thing. So it's so addictive because you want to be at 600.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is get there naturally.
Yeah.
And live there. That's the way I see it now.
Yeah, not 600, zero. 600,
that's right.
zero.
And when you're in the zero, Jordan, there is nothing more painful.
Yeah.
Nothing more painful. The come down of the night out, mate, you've been there. How many times you laid there and going, I can't do this. Like you just want to die because it's so bad, and that's why I'm saying to you, like, wouldn't it be great to choose Jack? Like, what a great young man at 23 years old to sit there and say
to
now,
flag that. Yeah.
right now, Dad, like, and be honest, like, Dad, Jordan, I'm 23. I did this. I literally was beside myself. I'm looking at December now, knowing all my mates are doing this over here, but I can't do it. Like, wow, how fantastic. What date is it today? The 23rd of November?
24th?
24th?
Yeah.
At the 24th of November, Jackson's already going, do I choose this or choose this? Why? Because he lives with me every day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hard on you, Jackson.
Yeah.
Aren't I? I'm pretty hard on you.
Yeah.
But I'm hard on you in a way that's caring. I'm like, you know, if you go down the path that I've seen you go down the path, I'm like, it's not good enough, Jack. You shouldn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. But I let you make your choices and all that sort of stuff. But I live in an environment where you watch me live it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can choose this or choose that. It's up to you. And now he's got, finally, it's been a long road, but finally, how rewarding for me to watch. At the 24th of November, Jackson goes, oh, I've got Christmas coming. I'm just going to go to Port Macquarie and hang in the library.
Yeah.
Because it's safe.
Yeah.
Well done, Jackson.
It's away from everything.
Well done. So this year, let's wrap it up on this part. This year, you got a choice right now to design your January. Because people go on about, oh, I'm going to do this. No, don't all these resolutions. We talked about them before. But what about today? Like, start today living it how you want. You can go on holidays and you can still eat well. I'm not going to eat junk on holidays. Why would I? It's like eating the cereal last night. That's terrible. I was like, a huge bowl of cereal. I've got to work that thing off now.
Yeah.
But like every day, because I want to get to the end of next year and be 20% higher in vibration again. Because what that means to me is the 20% higher in vibration again is 20% improved results. It's a 20% improved life. So imagine in 5 years' time, you're 100% on from today. But you can't go up and down like a seesaw and expect to go, because it's really hard to change your frequency and vibration and live there. It takes so many little choices along the way, constantly. But you can't go up 10% and then down 40% and then like expect any difference. Your life will actually reflect that. Yeah. So what do you want to do, George, from here? Where are you going to end up this year?
I'm going to work the hardest you've ever seen till December 16th. And then I'm going to go on a golf trip for 3 days.
Good.
And then I'm going to go away from Mum's 50th. And then I'm going to come back an animal like I always do in the first week of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jackson?
Go to the library.
Go to the library. Good. I'll lend you my library card.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure you don't have one.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I'm going to chase frequency.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a bit of a break with Tars and then chase frequency, because I want next year to be best ever, but not just best ever. I just want to feel the best ever. And I'm sure life will take care of itself.